Max Verstappen won the 2024 Bahrain Grand Prix in commanding style, but it was Carlos Sainz who dominated the headlines. The Ferrari racer produced an astonishing performance, going from P4 in qualifying to clinching a podium finish. And his exploits certainly haven't gone unnoticed by other drivers, including Max Verstappen. But what does the reigning world champion think about this stunning drive by Carlos Sainz? And what did he make of his own race? Here is what Verstappen thinks of Sainz' Bahrain brilliance. Max Verstappen coasted to victory in Bahrain to once again remind us all that he is the king of the tracks. Taking full advantage of the pole position, Verstappen led the race from start to finish. Not only does this dominant performance highlight Red Bull's supremacy over the field, it also provides early indication of how the 2024 F1 season will pan out. Speaking to Sky Sports after taking the checkered flag in P1, the Red Bull driver expressed his satisfaction with the outcome of the race. "Unbelievable. I think today went even better than expected," Verstappen said. "I think we had a lot of pace and it was just super enjoyable to drive today. We stayed out of trouble and it's a great start of the year. It couldn't have been better." Speaking about trouble, the only opposition driver who looked like he could unsettle the two Red Bull cars in front of the race was Carlos Sainz. The Ferrari driver produced a scintillating performance, beating his teammate twice in a wheel-to-wheel battle and passing a few other cars to secure a podium finish. And even though Verstappen set the fastest lap and won the race, Sainz was voted driver of the day by the fans. The tenacious racer scooped 31.4% of the votes, about 18.1% more than what Verstappen garnered. This shows how well his performance was received by the millions of F1 viewers who saw the race. But even within the paddock, nobody could contest his emergence as driver of the day because it was absolutely deserved. "I felt really good out there today," Sainz said after the race. "The start wasn't ideal, but from then on I managed my tyres well, and then from there I could do my pace, overtaking a few cars on the way to the podium." Expanding further on this thought, the Spaniard said he was relieved to be able to attack other cars after enduring a difficult phase last season where he constantly had to look over his shoulders. "Yeah, it's actually a bit of a relief, because I remember last year, the last race where I was attacking was Austria, and we're talking about 13 or 14 races ago," he explained. "Then the rest of the races last year, you just had to manage. You just had to look in the mirrors, you just had to control your pace, and there were very little opportunities to go and overtake people." Looking back in hindsight, it must have been very frustrating for Carlos Sainz, especially because he's the type of racer who likes to push his car to the limit. He likes to seize the initiative and explore overtaking opportunities as much as he can. Unfortunately, he very rarely got the chance to do any of these because Ferrari didn't quite get up to speed last season. While Red Bull was sweeping away points from one track to another, Ferrari found themselves struggling with tyre degradation and reliability issues. Obviously, this limited the potential of their drivers to get points on the board. So, going into the winter break, fans and analysts were curious to know if the team could resolve these issues in time for the start of the 2024 F1 season. More importantly, they were keen to see how much race pace Ferrari would get from implementing these modifications. Well, the Prancing Horse team showed some good signs in pre-season testing, which made us suspect they may have turned the corner. But Sainz's incredible drive in Bahrain was the confirmation we needed. In the words of former F1 driver David Coulthard, Sainz showed all the qualities of a complete race driver. And you could argue that if he was driving a better car, perhaps the RB20, he could have won the race. But that's a discussion for another video. Sainz's Driver of the Day performance in the season's opener follows a shocking winter announcement in which Ferrari confirmed he'd be replaced by Lewis Hamilton at the end of the 2024 season. This ultimately creates an aura of uncertainty around his future as a Formula One driver. From publicly stating his wish to start the new season with a secured contract, Sainz is now left without a guaranteed seat for 2025. We're definitely following this situation, and as soon as there's an update, we'll be sure to bring you the gist. So, please take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on Sainz's next destination and other trending stories in the world of Formula One. Ideally, replacing Sainz with Lewis Hamilton looks like a smart short-term move for Ferrari, because legendary drivers like Hamilton are not always available, and you'll probably only get a chance to sign them once in a lifetime. With Hamilton behind the wheel, Ferrari stands a better chance of winning titles. However, Sainz is not a bad driver either, and he looks like someone who can challenge if given the right car. Ultimately, the hierarchy at Ferrari sees Charles Leclerc as a better driver than Carlos Sainz. But on the evidence of what we saw in Bahrain, where Sainz finished one place above his teammate, that may not be the case. To be fair, Leclerc struggled with his brake balance throughout the race, and this affected his performance. But that's not to take anything away from Sainz's incredible performance. Executing overtake after overtake, the Ferrari driver climbed up the grid to clinch the 19th podium finish of his career. Now he is relishing the opportunity to challenge any driver on the track, and as we saw in Bahrain, even his teammate is not spared. I will seize any opportunity to overtake, prioritizing safety and cleanliness, as I did today, Sainz said, especially when I have a good pace and can extend my first pit stop, creating a tire advantage for myself. All my overtakes were executed cleanly, neatly, and safely, which aligns with my racing principles. The uncertainty around his future means Carlos Sainz will be driving with extra motivation this season as he looks to secure a seat for himself next season. And with 8 teams having free seats in 2025, the Spanish racer will have plenty of options to choose from. I know I've been performing well recently, Sainz said. I know there will be very good opportunities out there to remain competitive in the future in other teams. I'm turning 30 this year, which means I'm probably around my peak, so I want to make sure I give myself some time to analyze and hear a bit from everyone to see where I could go. For his next project, Sainz says he's looking for a stable team where he can challenge for titles. Wherever I go, I will look for stability and an interesting project. To become a champion in the future, the Spanish racer explained. I believe in stability. I'm a big believer in consistency, in getting to know the people you work with, getting yourself involved in the team that you're in for more than 1 or 2 years. So it's no secret that is my preference, and that is why I need to give myself time to decide well. In the meantime, the Spaniard is focused on giving his best in what would be his last season of racing in the red overalls of Ferrari. He will be hoping to sign out on a high, while his teammate Charles Leclerc will be looking to lay down the marker ahead of Lewis Hamilton's arrival next season. This makes for an interesting internal rivalry between both drivers that will unfold as the season progresses, and we're all in for it. However, that's something that Ferrari officials would probably not like to see. In fact, they would have their hearts in their mouths watching Leclerc and Sainz go head-to-head twice in Bahrain, because both drivers could have taken themselves out. But overall, Ferrari had a good outing, and if they keep up with this momentum, they look like the one team that might challenge Red Bull this season. What do you make of Carlos Sainz's incredible performance in Bahrain? And where do you think he will drive next season? Let us know in the comment section below.